At this time, it's my honor to introduce to you the Commissioner of the Vermont Department of Corrections, Andrew Pallito.
So I've been with the department now for about 10 years, and I have to tell you, of all the speeches I've heard, that is by far one of the best I've heard. And some of the things that you said in this speech really are point on. People can change. That has been our byline in the Department of Corrections for 2 decades at least. I've been with the Agency of Human Services, the parent agency of the department, for almost my entire state career, which is 2 decades, and people can change has been the bottom line. And the training you just went through over the last 5 weeks was really, really difficult. I get criticized by the secretary and I are personal friends, and he makes fun of me for saying repetitive words when I give this speech for the Academy. We do so many of them, it's hard not to, so I'm going to really try and moderate the use of certain words. So I'm a little off my game today. So I've been with this agency for 20 years, and I've seen people can change, and I know we talk about it, and the 5-week academy that you just went through, by design, is very difficult because of the work environments that we run. We do work in the Department of Corrections unlike any other state agency in the state. We do things that are very emergent. Your day can be very kind of predictable at one instance, and an instant later, we could have an incident and you're on. And these incidents happen every single day. And they vary, depending on the institution, the incident varies, and so you may have a very calm day or your day may change. And the training that we put through is designed to address those things. But the byline is when you're in the middle of those things, is there's human beings that we're responsible for, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And regardless of what they've done and what society thinks of them, we have statute, and I think if you haven't read it, Title 28 spells out exactly what the state expects of us and its citizens who fund us and give us our mission, and that really has to be the byline for what you do and how you approach your work. It's something that we live by, the commissioner, the deputy commissioner, the secretary, the director of security, in our work, and it's really what the training you went through and the academy that Bill runs addresses. These jobs are difficult from a 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week aspect, so when the rest of state government is having Christmas dinner, or the rest of the state is having Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or whatever the occasion is, we're open for business and we're operating and we're taking phone calls and we're getting emails, and that's just the nature of what we do. But it is the most rewarding work you can do. You know, to do some of the other jobs that are available in society at large and not see necessarily the gain, but to see what we do and to see people living in the community who have actually re-entered after we've dealt with them, it's just a wonderful thing. The Deputy Commissioner and I spent the day yesterday at Corrections Oversight, which is an experience unto itself. But there was an offender advocate who we've gotten to know over the last several years who has a pretty violent history, but seems to really had to stay with us, did some of our programming, seems to have turned it. Now, all of the people we deal with, you always have to be cautious, but given the opportunity, many of them turn their lives around and become productive citizens, pay taxes, own homes, raise families, and really get a chance. And so I really encourage you to remember Title 28 and our mission and our vision, because it's what is expected of us. It's what we monitor to. We live and die by our work rules. And I want to, just one more point I want to make. In this fiscal environment, when unemployment's at 9.5% and job losses outgain job creations for months and months, we're still hiring. And these are jobs with benefits, leave benefits, retirement, all those other things, and promotional opportunities. Our deputy commissioner started in your chair. I started as a pay grade 19, just one level above where you are. Many of our superintendents started out as temporary correctional officers and have stuck to the guidelines that we teach you in the academy, the work rules, again, the mission, and embody those things, and the opportunities are there. And so I really encourage you to be serious. The downside is, in this economy, we're hiring. We have 7 academies a year, 20 to 25 people, so we're hiring 20% of our uniform staff every single year, and that's a reflection of the difficulty of these jobs. But if you keep it in balance, you have a life plan, you go easy on your family, don't take out bad days on your family. It's a long and successful career and is very rewarding, as any of us can testify. So welcome aboard and congratulations. And it's always a proud day for us when we have new recruits join the Department of Corrections, so thank you. It is my privilege to introduce the secretary, who is the former commissioner of the Department of Corrections, came into the Department of Corrections at a particularly difficult time in the Department of Corrections history. We had a fairly long period of I don't want to say stability, but a fairly long quiet time, I'll say it that way. And then we had a fairly tumultuous time for a year or two, and the secretary took over right in the throes of that period and really is responsible for a lot of the things that we enjoy today 6 years later. And so it's my privilege to introduce Secretary Hofmann.
Thank you, everybody. One of the best aspects of the job of Commissioner or Secretary is gathering at events like this. I mean, the two I enjoy the most, or three, are correctional graduations like we're here, the community high school graduations of offenders finally achieving their high school diploma, and then reward recognition ceremonies of our staff on an ongoing basis every year to recognize some of our top performers. In fact, we did that in an informal way yesterday afternoon with the governor. So welcome to the department. As Andy said, as the commissioner said, this is important work. We're thrilled to have you join such a great team that we have. And it's great to see so many of my correctional colleagues in the audience. And this is a great opportunity. And you are there. You're the backbone of the Department of Corrections. Correctional Officer 1 is the backbone of the department. And you are so integral to protecting the safety of my family, of the young people in the room, the old people in the room, the in-between people in the room, all our families. We're so reliant on you for public safety role that you play. But as was mentioned in that great valedictory speech and by the commissioner, implicit in what they said was that people are coming back to the communities. 95, 96, 97% of people are going to be coming back to our communities. And if they haven't made any improvement, whoever was victimized the first time is at risk of being victimized again. And the taxpayer is at risk of spending a bundle for their reincarceration. And you play an important role. We're not naive enough to think that everybody's going to change. We know that's not possible, but there is that potentiality. And you folks, as role models for representing the normalcy of society to somebody that's incarcerated, can do a lot. Just like our men and women that are serving, many of them from the department over in Afghanistan and to a lesser extent in Iraq right now, they are the role model for what it is to be American. You're the role model for the outside world, for Vermont, to those offenders while they're incarcerated. And whether it's be encouraging them to get their high school diploma, or encouraging them to be diligent with their treatment, encouraging them in their work industries or their reentry plan, you can play a positive role. And offenders appreciate an officer that's consistent, firm, but supportive. And I would encourage you to be that officer. As Andy said, there's a lot of opportunities. We're one of the biggest employers in the state of Vermont. I think we're probably in the top dozen. And even at difficult times like this, there are openings and different ways to go in a career within this department. There's people, as I scan the audience and look behind me, there are people all over this department that started in your shoes and have gone on to illustrious careers. So there's a lot of potential to the best people. We promote on merit, and we're very selective. Sometimes people stumble in their careers, and if it's it's a fatal, illegal, immoral, we'll show them to the door. But for people that just good people that make a mistake, there's the ability to dust yourself off and continuing on and improving in your career. So welcome to the department. We're thrilled to have you, and I'm thrilled to see your families here and my colleagues from the department. So again, thanks for joining us.